Where would we be without the various products delivered by the men and women in the trucking industry? Healthy Conversations in Trucking podcast is a platform for professional long-haul truck drivers to share their journeys over the road, educating listeners about the trucking industry and lifestyle. Now, let's dive into the conversation on this brand new episode. Greetings, everyone, and thank you for joining us on this episode of Healthy Conversations in Trucking. Guess who's with me today? Say hello.
Who?
Say hello.
Hello?
Oh, goodness.
What's up, Doc?
I'm Dr. Charlotte Huntley, and I'm joined today by my co-host and husband, Jonathan Huntley.
That's me.
We're excited to just share with you some of our favorite takeaways and lessons learned and things we like about podcasting so far. This is episode 30. So we're a little over 6 months into our first year of the podcast. We've learned a lot. We've experienced a lot so far. And this is just a great time for us to pause and share some of our favorite parts of podcasting with you and some of our favorite episodes. So you go first. Let's start with our favorite episode. What's one of your favorite episodes? And you can't say all of them.
Look here. This is our 30th episode in a row each week since day one. So I'm going to tell a joke.
No, I thought you were joking about that.
I'm not. So my wife the other day asked me if I seen my dog's bowl. And I'm like,
your what?
My dog bowl.
The bowl?
The bowl.
Like
I said, no, I didn't know he could.
Oh, gosh. I did not. Okay, that's a horrible joke. I didn't say anything. No. Okay, can we get to the episodes?
Sure. Anyways.
What's your first favorite episode?
My favorite episode, of course, I have to go with number one. Whenever you can talk to your trainer who you spent almost 3 months with and taught you all the good stuff, that was good. I enjoyed talking to John. He's a good friend of mine. We still talk today. It was a pleasure to have him on the podcast.
So that was episode 2, Experience and Wisdom Over the Road with John Elston. And that was a great episode. That was my first interview, aside from just you and I being on the podcast for this podcast. And I learned a lot. I already knew John, and I had talked to him, met him before and talked to him. But it was fun to interview him, to hear. There was just so much wisdom in all the conversation. And I just really enjoyed that.
He's a great guy.
Yeah.
And he's so knowledgeable. He's been driving for at least a day and a half, so he knows a couple things.
Well, I really enjoyed that one. For me, I guess I didn't say just one, but there are a lot of favorites, but I really enjoy interviewing the women in trucking, the women over the road. And episode 14, I interviewed Wyzina Heaney, and she's been with the same company for 20 years. And I loved hearing her story and speaking with her. And she was just, that was a great episode. That was just great. If you haven't heard that one, make sure you note to go back and hear it. And then also right after that, episode 15 with Angelique Temple. And she was the one that she had so many, she hit me out of nowhere. Like, she raised off her kids while being on the road, and she had driven hazardous materials, and she just had so much information, knowledge, experience for years on the road. And she just blurted it out so matter of fact, and like, it just reminds me of just how we are as women. We do all the things, and we're just strong, and I was just wowed by her, and it was just a lot of fun to interview her. And then there were so many others that came on after those, but those two really stood out to me, and I just really enjoy hearing the stories from women.
And you still can't get your CDL, but it was a good episode. I enjoyed listening to the women's side of trucking also, and I encourage more. It's a good experience to hear what you all go through. I know what we go through. It's great to learn what you guys go through.
Yeah, I know I really enjoy being able to highlight their stories, and I really want more. I've intentionally, worked to connect with women who will want, come on the podcast and share their stories. Not only do other women get encouraged by that, but I think it's also eye-opening for the men that just don't know those stories of how it is for women on the road. So I am rallying out again, always recruiting new guests for the podcast, but I really enjoy the women. And I do think I might get my CDL. I don't know. I mean, I can.
I'm going to tell another joke.
No. Let's keep going. All right. So name one more episode that you really like.
I enjoyed listening to the married couple out there that run the FedEx.
Yes. Robert and Carla Holmes.
We're a lot alike in a lot of similar ways. You know, I've always got to be driving. I've always got to be behind the wheel. And if someone else is behind that wheel, I freak out and I can't do nothing but want to be behind the wheel. So I can understand that. And I think that's very unique to have a team partner as your wife, because, we're partnering on this mic right now and we're fighting for position. And I get yelled at for, moving or not too close or touching the desk.
You don't do it right. You don't take instruction well either.
That's why I got to drive. But anyways, they had a really good conversation.
Yeah. We should have put a video on for this, they can really see. They can probably just imagine though.
Yeah. Well,
but anyway,
we got bloopers out there we'll put out someday.
But yeah, that was episode 18, Married Team Truck Drivers Robert and Carla Holmes, and I really enjoyed both of them. I didn't expect. Fun fact: I really had scheduled the interview to speak with Carla, and her husband. She had her husband join the call, and it worked out perfectly. The mic was great. The audio worked really well. The conversation flowed. They were so much fun to talk to. And they sent a great photo too with their dog. I enjoyed that one a lot too.
I wonder if he ever saw his dog bowl.
Oh gosh, would you let that go? I'm not editing this, so this is just gonna have to go out there. I apologize to all of you who are listening to this. I
enjoy talking to all my buddies out there too. Guys I've been hauling cars with for years, and that's a real strong bond in the auto hauling industry. And whoever, if you're looking to get into an exciting career, I would definitely, push it towards the auto haul.
Yeah.
Good money, it's hard work, and you get to see the country.
Well, I just think that hearing all the stories I can't imagine that getting old for me. I genuinely enjoy listening to the journeys, why people got into trucking, what they like, what they don't like. I really like the tips as well. I really enjoy listening to, how they're addressing the challenges of the road. And it's just been really eye-opening for me.
Yeah, it's important. We always learn. We never stop learning. So whenever we can hear from drivers and stuff they do over the road, and then we can come around there and apply it, if someone listening for the first time and they go through and oh my goodness gracious. Yeah, I'm not going to eat from a bag anymore.
Yeah,
everybody loves that BJ.
Yeah.
So even with Randy with the V8,
Yeah.
Who'd have thunk it?
I knew that it would be good to have the driver share tips, in theory, planning this ahead of time. I thought that it would be, to hear from your fellow, men and women on the road dealing with some of the same challenges, hearing how they're addressing it. I felt like that would be a good, would come over well. But I've just personally enjoyed hearing them myself. And so this has been a lot of fun, a lot of work, but a lot of fun. And I've really enjoyed it so far. Looking forward to the next 6 months and the next 30 episodes and continuing forward. So thank you all for being part of the podcast community and listening. And one more time, I can't close this out without asking you to make sure that you share this podcast with your colleagues. We are always recruiting new guests on the show. We don't have a show without guests. So I really encourage you, if you have not done so, visit our website, click on Be a Guest from the menu, and it's a very simple form to fill out, and then you schedule a time to meet with me. It's that simple. So that's all I have for now.
Knock, knock.
No, we're not doing any more jokes. So I'm going to wrap this up before he starts telling another joke. Thank you all for listening. I really appreciate you.
I can't believe I got to shut out. Thank you, guys.
Thank you for listening to the Healthy Conversations in Trucking podcast. Learn more or be a guest on a future episode by visiting healthyconversationsinTrucking.com or simply hcitpodcast.com.